Hey, welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. I want to talk about a few things today. Uh, I was just going to talk about, well, let me first, I'm sorry, I do this a lot for you new people. I just have too many things running through my head at one time. I want to welcome all of you new people out there. We continue to have so many new folks joining both on YouTube and on Patreon. Welcome to all of you. I hope that you enjoy and get something out of the content. In addition to that, I encourage people when they come to read the comments down below because I claim to have the smartest commenters in YouTube land, and others may disagree with me on that, but I'll defend that to the death. And if you read those comments, I think you'll come to agree with me. We got some bright folks down there. I'm going to say a word at the end of this on just some advice on how to comment. Okay, we have occasionally we have a few. We never have rude people, but occasionally we have a few that get a little too close to the line, and I'd like to address that because the comments are important. It's just that some people, when they're getting excited about something, they may, you know, challenge or offend other people. We don't want that. We want this to be a place where people can come and share their ideas, and and then expect if somebody disagrees, then the other person is going to be respectful in that anyway. So for you new people, uh, read the comments, participate to the extent that you like, contribute in the comments, do so intelligently and nicely and courteously and all that, and then everybody gets the benefit of your knowledge or of your question. Anyway, back to this. I was going to talk today primarily about gaining real experience, real world experience, because as I've said before, training is great, but training only prepares you to learn from experience. There is a vast difference, if those of you who have had both training and experience can attest. And the world that's coming around now is the more experience you have, the more real world experience, the better off you're going to be. So I'm going to get to that in the second part of this. What I wanted to talk about first is when I got up today, I do all the things, even when I'm kind of in a hurry today. But I check my emails and I see who I'm subscribed to. I don't subscribe to very many people. There are a few that I consider to be high quality channels. And when one of theirs pops up, I watch it. And today I saw the Guns Coast to Coast had one up, and I think the title was Demoralization and an Attack on Hope or Hopeless. It was about that. I don't remember the exact title, but but you'll find it. Guns Coast to Coast is one of the real thinkers on this platform. I suggest that after you finish with this, you go over and watch his. You'll find it. He just put up today. It's and I don't want to, I won't tell you what he said, but I want to expand on that. Actually, he was banging a drum on something I've banged the drum on for a long, long time, and he did it exceptionally well. And then he went on to something else, the hopelessness. I've noticed lately that there have been an increase in videos across the platform that are wallowing in hopelessness. Now, I understand we're in the midst of many challenges, and they're coming at us faster than we would maybe we would have anticipated. But hey, that's life, right? And things happen, and bad things happen, and we need to be able to be prepared, and we need to be able to respond to them in a way that allows us to be successful. Okay. And giving up hope is detrimental to that. Hope is one of the greatest weapons you can have. And to take away someone else's hope is a weapon you use against them. Okay? Yeah, I mean, it's basic. Whether it's on a personal level, whether it's on, the scale of world wars, whatever. When a person or a people become hopeless, they're defeated. And so the first thing that I want to say is don't allow yourself to feel hopeless. Now, hopelessness takes a number of different, adopts a number of different faces. Some people will say, Well, I think that, you know, right now is hopeless, but in the long run, we're going to win. Okay, you're already giving yourself an enemy in there that you shouldn't be. You know, over on Patreon, I've put a lot up there about uh, the situation in Ireland, because if you watch there's a lot to learn from the Irish situation. I put some up about what's going on in Australia right now, and at the center of those things is hope. Now, forgive me if I said this because I had to restart this. So if I can't remember if I said it on this take or not. I hardly ever take more than one take, but something happened and I lost it, so I had to start again. But just as we know that faith without works is dead, so is hope without action. Okay? So you can't just sit around and go, oh, I hope things get better, and I hope this turns out for the best, and I hope I don't get fired, and I hope I don't lose my property. I hope, that's ridiculous. I mean, put your faith in God, but then get up and do something. And those who just sit around and hope, they're gonna they they're gonna succumb unless somebody with comes along who has both hope and action and gets their butt out of the grease. Um, so we do need the actions, but we need the hope. Okay, if you think about the great stories in history, at the center of those stories, and we could go through, through the Revolution. We can go a lot farther back than that. Um, we can go back to the Old Testament times, right? But let's bring it forward to our era here. If we go to the Revolution, if we go to um, the Alamo, okay, if we go to the the things, I won't say righteous wars because I don't think that there's been a righteous war since the Revolution. But if we look at those things that people were able to, come out of almost insurmountable odds, the things that we look at and the things that we hold up to be revered are the hope of those people. Now you can go saying, well, everybody at the Alamo died. Well, yeah, but there's a reason that they're held up to be heroes. Okay, that their hope for a free Texas allowed things to happen that then have culminated in great things later. The hope of the Irish people has kept them um, fighting and resisting for 800 years. And you can say, well, they're still not out of it. Okay, well, they're mostly out of it. Okay, uh, so I would caution anybody about giving up hope. Things can be bad, but they're never hopeless until you allow yourself to feel hopeless. Okay? I would rather lead an army of the hope filled than an army of the hopeless, wouldn't you? So, if you find yourself getting into those doldrums like, oh, I don't care what you say, these people, it's all terrible, it's all going down in the tank, it's all, there's no reason if you're full of hope, you're an idiot. Well, I'd remind you of what Churchill said to the English people when they were under bombardment. Okay, if you realize that, and that he said these are not dark days, because everybody was. The sirens go off, and you're running down to the air raid shelters under the streets of London, and bombs are exploding above, and you're down there with the babies, and the earth shakes, and the lights go out, and you withstand that for hours, right? The Blitzkrieg. And finally, there's silence, and you can go back up, and half your neighborhood is blown apart. And, where you lived is blown out in the street. Do you think those people had a reason to feel hopeless? But they didn't. Not only did the people themselves have a resolve, but their leader, Churchill, who, I like some things about him, don't like other things about him, like most leaders. He came on and he gave one of his greatest speeches, and he said, these are not dark days, these are great days. These are the days that give us the opportunity, and this isn't an exact quote, but this is what I'm saying he meant. These are the days that give us the opportunity to show what we are and what we're about. And so when I see people starting to think, let's say, there's no hope. Well, if you think there's no hope, there is no hope for you. But the rest of you, keep hope alive. That sounds too much like Obama, doesn't it? I didn't mean it, but hope is important. It's a weapon that you can use for yourself in a positive way. It's a weapon that the enemy will try to use to take it away from you, and if they are able to, you are defeated. So keep your hope up. Go watch Guns Coast to Coast. Listen to what he said. Now my main message that I was going to get to here is experience. We have some things potentially that are coming at us that we haven't experienced, or most people haven't experienced before, at least in this country. Other people have experienced it, okay? It's not like this is the first time this has ever happened, okay? Technology is more advanced, I understand that. The weapons used against people are different, I understand that. But, in the history of humankind, humans have always been able to figure out how to resist and fight against oppression, and that's simply our challenge today. Now, what I'm going to suggest is what I suggested to some of my previous students when they said they wanted to, join the military and the police. First off, don't join the military. Don't join the military. I'll get into that on another one. Just don't do it. You can be sent away places doing things that you wouldn't agree with, you don't know, whatever. I could do an hour on that. I won't. My suggestion is this. For those of you who are of an age to where you still can do it, join the police. Now, I can hear, hundreds, thousands of people out there now going, I would never join the police. Okay? Because the police are oppressors, aren't they? Yes, many times they are. Guess what the police have? They have training and they have skills that you might want. Okay? Zombie Farmer over there, if you watch him, and I'm sure a lot, if not most of you do, he was a truck driver for a long time, a farmer and a truck driver. Last year, he decided to change, and he went through the academy down there in his area, and he's now on a sheriff's department, and he has learned a lot. And he's going to continue to learn a lot more the longer he stays in it. The police. You go into the police, you are going to learn things you would be surprised at knowing. You're going to get a lot of training, and you're going to get a lot of insight. Doesn't mean that you want to be an oppressor of people. Actually, it might put you in a position to where you're able to stand against oppression, believe it or not. Okay? So all you cop haters out there, if I hear any of that crap, I'm dumping you. Okay? Because there's no room in serious discussions for a limited, one-sided idea. Yeah. So, anyway, join. You can't believe the training that will be available to you. You can't believe the information that will be available to you. You can't believe the contacts that will be available to you, all of which might serve you well in the future, even after you leave, if you decide to leave. We have a lot of law enforcement people across the country. Sheriffs, deputies, some cops, not many chiefs of police, because I don't think much of most police chiefs. But the sheriffs and the deputies and all those, they are standing up against this oppression. Wouldn't you like to be a part of that in an organized way? Guess what? That's a way you can do it. However, even if you don't stay in it, my purpose for suggesting that you do this is to get those real world experiences. If you don't understand how the monster works, it's difficult to resist or fight the monster. Well, I know how the monster works. It's just horrible. No, you don't. If you haven't been in it, you don't. Trust me, okay? You have no idea what's beneath the surface that the average person can see. Okay. Now, and finally, they'll say, well, I would never be a part of something with which I so deeply disagree. Okay, guess what? The cartels are filling up southwestern police and sheriff departments with their people. Why do you think they're doing that? You know that all through history, an oppressed people have tried to get their people within the oppressive system. That's pretty smart, isn't it? That's what you want to do. You want to get in there, find out what's going on. You will be able to help a lot more being inside, knowing what you're doing, using, and maybe you quit, okay? After a couple, 3 years, you say, okay, I got a lot here. Now I'm gone, okay? And you're going to be gone with a lot of skills and information that are going to be very helpful for you and the people around you in the years to come. So I hear, there are a lot of people out there, and the vast majority, I don't want you all to think that I'm talking about you, most of you, 99.875% of the comments on here are just exceptional. But I hear the occasional one here, and I see them on other channels too, where people who I know don't have the experience, and I can tell, are spouting off ideas as if they know all about it, and they're ideas that are not worthwhile. Okay, so go get some experience, and that's the place to go for it. I forget whether I covered this, whether on this one or the one that I had to dump, whether I said I was going to mention a couple of things at the end of this. If I didn't, I will now. If I already did, you can just stop it now. Comments. The vast majority of comments are just exceptional. I enjoy reading them. But there are a few I've noticed lately that, although I think their intent is good, I think the delivery could be improved. Shall I say that? When you're talking to people, how you express yourself, how they take what you say, depends entirely on how you couch it, how you put it. Okay. So if you're responding to something that someone has said, whether it's me or another commenter, and you say something to the effect that that's never going to happen, that will not happen, they won't let you do this, that, and the other. If you make a definitive statement that is contradictory to the comment you're responding to, it can be taken as rude. People aren't going to like it. People don't like people being rude to them, right? And I haven't taken off any of those comments because they're not that often. But let me just make a suggestion here, because the information in a lot of these comments is good. I don't want to have to jerk it off. Okay, but it's just like in my house. If I hear one person starting to be rude to another one of my guests or to me, I'll say, hey, let's cool it now. I think maybe there's another way to put that. And then if they just won't learn, then I invite them to leave. Well, think about it. There might be a better way to put that so that people understand and will realize and consider what you're saying. You might say, well, I see what you're saying. I have a little bit of a different opinion on that, and here's why. Okay, and then state your case and do so politely, and everybody's going to benefit from it, and then you're going to benefit from it, and we'll all get the benefit of your wisdom, and we'll just keep on rolling on fat and happy, right? So keep those things in mind. Keep hope. Keep your hope. There is always hope. A hopeless person is the only one who doesn't have hope. Okay? Hope every day you get up, and then do the best you can. And go watch Guns Coast to Coast on that. And then go get, if you're physically and age-wise able to, I think it's a great suggestion to go in and get some experience. Join a law enforcement department. Even if you're older, a lot, and the time now, so many people are leaving these departments, they're begging for cops. Okay. They will expand their criteria. You might be able to get in if you're a little bit older, or you might be able to get on the reserves, whatever, however you can do it, however you can get real world experience. Now is the best time to get it, because they need people and things are going to hell, and there is no better place to get experience than in a place that's going to hell. Okay. Thank you. I think that's all I have for today. I got to get out and do some things. For those of you who want a little deeper experience, come on over to Patreon. We'd love to have you over there. And we put up a lot more over there than I put up here. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And all of those things, hope, experience, those are important things to have in our preparations. So you all have a good day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.